Good morning, students. In our last class, we were discussing our chapter 3, that is fiber to fabric, right? This is the second part of the video, and in this part, we will study about the shearing and processing wool. Students, we know that we get wool from the animals, right? From the hairs of the animals, but that wool is not just ready to use. We have to process that wool before making sweaters, shawls, blankets, and other items by using that wool, right? So when we get hairs from the animals, that hairs are not exactly ready to use, but we have to do so much processing on the hairs so that we can use it. So this process is called as shearing and processing wool, so that we can make it ready to use, and we can use it to make shawls, sweaters, and other items, right? So first of all, we will see that what do we mean by the word shearing. Okay, students, you have to read along with me. The process of removing fleece along with a thin layer of skin from the shape using a manual razor or clipper is called shearing. Okay, students, as you can see in the picture, that here is a man who is removing the hairs from the body of the sheep by using a razor, right? So the process in which we manually remove the hairs of the sheep by using a razor or a clipper is called as shearing, right? जब भी हम किसी भी एनिमल की बॉडी से जो हेयर्स हैं उनको निकालते हैं बाय यूजिंग अ रेज़र और अ क्लिपर, देन दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज shearing. Okay, now the next is skirting fleece. What do we mean by this process, the skirting fleece? In this process, as you can see in the picture also, students, read along with me. After scoring, the fleece is spread on the tabletop consisting of rotating steel pins. This allow undesirable components like skin fragments, twigs, leaves, and other particles to remove from the fleece. Okay, students, the second process is that is of skirting fleece. In this process, what happens? Uh, we spread the hairs of the animals on the top of the table, as you can see in the picture also, that here is a man who is spreading the cotton on the tabletop, and after that the undesirable material in this cotton. And what are that undesirable material? The skin fragments, the twigs मतलब होता है टहनियाँ, लीव्स मतलब पत्तियाँ, और जो अदर पार्टिकल्स होते हैं उनको इन हेयर से रिमूव किया जाता है. किसकी हेल्प से रिमूव किया जाता है? रोटेटिंग स्टील की पिंस होती हैं, उन पिंस की हेल्प से इन अनडिज़ायरेबल मटेरियल्स को रिमूव किया जाता है. एंड व्हाट इज़ दिस प्रोसेस कॉल्ड? This process is called as skirting fleece. Okay, so till now what we have done, we have removed the hairs from the body of the animals, then we have removed the undesirable materials from that. And what are that undesirable materials? The skin fragments, the twigs, the leaves, and the other particles are the unnecessary substances that we have removed. Okay, now the next process is sorting. Students, as you know the meaning of word sorting, sort करना मतलब होता है चीज़ों को अलग अलग करना, right? उनको छांट कर अलग करना. Suppose I give you the mixture of some black pen and some blue pens, and I tell you to separate the blue pens from the red pens, from the black pens, then this process is called as sorting, right? If you take the blue pens away and the black pens away, then this process is called as sorting. So what do we mean by the word sorting? The word sorting means to separate the things in a group, right? So the wool is not uniform in all parts of the fleece, as we know that the wool is made up of the hair of the animals, and that hairs are not same, है ना, that are not uniform. Some quality of hair is so good and some quality of hair is not that good. So the wool that we get is not uniform, it is not similar. So what we do, some part have wool, fine wool fiber, whereas other have coarse wool fiber, right? Some part of the wool is not is fine, while the some part is not that fine, it has some impurities in that, right? So what do we do? The process of separating fleece of a sheep into groups according to the quality of the woolen fiber is called sorting. What do? We separate the fleece of the sheep into groups, है ना? हम क्या करते हैं कि जो sheep का fleece होता है उसको दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर देते हैं. एक पार्ट जिसमें कि जो वुल है वो फाइन होता है, मतलब गुड क्वालिटी वुल होता है, और दूसरा पार्ट जिसमें कि थोड़ा सा कोर्स क्वालिटी का वुल होता है, राइट? सो व्हेन वी सेपरेट both the wools according to their quality, then this process is called as sorting. Okay, so till now what we have done, we have removed the hairs from the animals, we have spread it on the tabletop and removed the unnecessary materials from the wool. Now we have separated the wool according to their quality. अभी तक हमने ये processes कर ली हैं. Now what is the next step? The next step is removing burrs. Students, you know that in your sweaters, shawls and other woolen substances, a kind of this structure of often appears, right? This structure is called as burrs. Okay, तो जो जो हेयर्स हम एनिमल की बॉडी से निकालते हैं उसमें भी ये जो बर्स हैं वो डेवलप हो जाते हैं, जिससे कि हमारे वूल की क्वालिटी ख़राब होती है, राइट? सो वी हैव टू रिमूव दैट बर्स. हाउ कैन वी रिमूव दैट बर्स? स्मॉल फ्लफ़ी फाइबर कॉल्ड बर्स. ये जो स्मॉल फ्लफ़ी फाइबर होता है इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? बर. आर पिक्ड आउट फ्रॉम द हेयर्स. इसको हम इस फ्लफ़ी फाइबर को हम क्या करते हैं? हेयर्स में से रिमूव कर देते हैं. हाउ वी कैन डू इट? दीज आर द बर्स विच समटाइम अपीयर ऑन योर स्वेटर ऑल्सो, राइट? ये जो बर्स होते हैं वो हमारे स्वेटर्स पे भी दिखते हैं. फाइबर आर स्कोर्ड अगेन एंड ड्राइड. नाउ द वुल इज़ रेडी टू बी ड्रॉन इन टू फाइबर, right? So what we do, if this kind of burr appear in the wool, then again we have to score our wool, right? We score our wool again and then we dry it. So what happen? Now our wool is ready to make a fiber, right? Now in the next process is carding. As you can see, students, here the wools of the animal are going into this machine, and what is this machine doing? This machine is combing the hairs to make them straight, right? As you can see, students, here the hairs are so irregular, but when they are passing through this section of the machine, then what is this section doing? It is combing that hairs to make them straight, and when the hairs become straight, then they are ready to be used as a fiber, right? Next is dyeing. What do we mean by dyeing? Dyeing का मतलब होता है वूल को कलर करना, राइट? टू मेक द shawls, sweaters and other different things of different colors. What do? We do dye the wool, right? As you can see, here is a container, and in that container the color is filled, and in that color we have kept our woolen threads so that they will get the color from this liquid, right? The fleece of the sheep is usually white, brown and gray in color, right? We know that The fleece of sheep are usually of these colors only, white, brown and grey. But what if I want the sweater of red color, yellow color, green color, blue color, right? So to get the sweaters of different colors of our requirement, what do? We do dye the wool. How we can do so? um, to get the desired color, it is dyed in different colors, right? To get the wool of our desire, our requirement, we can dye the wool in that required color. In this way we can make the woolen cloths of different colors by using the wool. The next is spinning. What do we mean by spinning? The long woolen fiber are spun into wool for fabrics. Students, as you can see that here is a woolen fiber. This woolen fiber is getting spun to make it into the fabric. As you can see here, it is making a in the form of a small thread, right? The fabric is then passed through the quality control inspection. Now our thread is ready to use, but before using it, it has to go through a quality control inspection, where what has done, the quality of the wool will get checked, and if it is of good quality, then only we can use it to make the woolen cloths, right? So this is the last process by which we will get our wool, and that is used to make the woolen cloths. Okay students, that's all for today's session. Thank you. The further topics we will study in the next lectures. Thank you.